Hey everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of Talk with D. It's been a while since I actually wanted to make this kind of video. And unlike my other videos which are scripted, this is not. Unlike most of my other videos that are edited, this is not. Short of the subtitles you probably see above me and maybe a couple of the logos and images. But it's not edited, it's a one shot. I take the video, I put in the graphics and the subtitles, and then send it out. So you're probably going to see me make some mistakes, and that's okay. Unlike the other videos, this one is here to help you with listening skills, but also give you a little bit of peace of my mind. So I have some topics which I'm going to talk about, and yeah, we'll see how this thing goes. But before I get into it, please remember, hit the like button, go ahead and follow me if you haven't followed me yet, and leave me a comment if you like this kind of video. Also, if you enjoy these kind of videos, it'd be awesome if you can share these with your friends, family, and in your groups and circles, because only if I know that you guys like these things will I keep making them. All right, with that said, let's get into it. So, many of you that have been following me for a while know that I'm a single dad. My daughter Adina, she lives here with me in Beijing. She's 5.5. And being a single father in China is different. You know, some of the questions I get are pretty strange sometimes. People ask me, why would I choose to be a single father? I don't think that's actually a decent question, but it's a very common one. I think men can choose to be a father, not to be a dad. Anyone can make a kid, right? Any guy can go ahead and make a kid. We all know how that works. But it takes a person that's going to be in that child's life to be a real father or mother. And I'm very proud of the fact that I am a father. You know, I take care of my daughter every day. I do the cooking, I do the cleaning, we play together, especially these days with us being locked down because of the coronavirus. By the way, for those watching in the future, it's right now February 2020 and the coronavirus is going around. Something we're going to talk about in a second. But I do the education with my daughter. We do art, we do science, I do STEM with her. We talk all the time. I'm her emotional support. Things that are usually delegated between the mother and father. As a single father, I do both. And I feel very proud. You know, a lot of people have asked me, isn't it very burdensome? Isn't it troublesome? And no, you know, I never find her to be a burden. I don't find her to be troublesome. I don't find the situation bad. Yeah, but a lot of people seem to think that. I find it as a blessing. You know, the fact that I get to watch my daughter grow. Recently, she found the game Minecraft, which she's teaching me how to do it. She put me in the game. She said, "Okay, Daddy, play with me," and I did. And I'm trying to figure it out. I had to watch a bunch of YouTube videos to figure out how to play the game. And yeah, she actually wound up surpassing me very quickly. Within a few days, she's building houses. She's learning how to create different objects. And it's a really cool game. I like it because I'm very big into Legos, and I believe Legos is really good for children. Creativity, and this game really is good with creativity. I don't really let her play with other people in the big online games because I can't monitor it and I don't know what kind of people are on there. So I let her play in a small world of her own, and she plays with her cousins back in the States. So that's pretty cool. Being a role model for her is really what I try to do. I try to lead through example, and one of those ways is I actually try not to curse. I try to make sure that she only hears decent language around her. So much so that quite often when we're driving on the street on the motorbike here in Beijing, people will sometimes act like an idiot. And I'll actually say the word jerk or idiot. And she sees those as the really bad words. And she'll say, "Daddy, don't say bad words." And if to her those are the bad words, then I'm happy because that means I'm really keeping my mouth clean. Which is good for me too. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. By the way, I will revisit these things in more details, and if you have more questions about life as a single father in China, life as a single father, or about me and my daughter, feel free to go ahead and post them in the comments, and I'll go ahead and respond to them as I can. So my next thought is on the coronavirus, which is occurring right now. As of today, we have surpassed 1,300 deaths That's a lot of deaths. And up to 52,000 people infected. Now, we did expect these numbers to rise, and actually this week alone, out my window, I live in the city of Beijing, right? Not on the outside of Beijing, but in the city. And for the last couple of weeks, it's been pretty much dead on the street. There's like basically nobody. All of a sudden this week, people started going back to work, and you got cars, you got people walking around, and I see people with no masks on. And that's insane. That's absolutely insane. If you can, stay at home. Your life, your health is not worth a job. And if your boss is trying to force you in, then they obviously care more about money than they do about your own health and safety. That's not a person you should be working for. With that said, I still don't believe, as I've said in my other videos, that this is going to be a major issue. I mean, like, 50% of people are going to die, nothing like that. The percentage of death is still very low. Majority of the people dying are still the elderly or the very young, which is why I'm isolated, because I don't want to risk my daughter's life. Or those with pre-existing conditions, people who have been sick from other diseases. Those are the people, majority of which, that have died from the disease. Similar to the flu. The people who die every year from the flu are usually the very young, the very old, or the people that have pre-existing conditions. So there's that. There's just way too many people outside. There was a photo, which I'm gonna put somewhere on the screen right now, that a friend sent me yesterday. And for those of you who are my non-Chinese followers, let me translate it for you. It basically means if you don't wear a mask, you are trying to die. I think that, it's not just that they're trying to die. Some people are just ignorant. And one of the problems is a lot of people are just staying at home. They don't know how to deal with it. And they're not seeing themselves getting sick, so they're just like, oh, it's not a big deal. It is a big deal. It is a big deal. You need to protect yourself, and protecting yourself also means you're protecting others around you, whether it's your friends, family, or even your neighbors. If you go outside without a mask and you do get sick, you're bringing that back to your complex, to your building, to your floor, your neighbors, and to anyone who lives with you. It just takes a second to get infected. Don't get infected. Don't take the risk. And even if you don't die from this disease, it's still not a good disease to have. You still are sitting there sick, throwing up, high fever, headaches, weakness. I mean, there's a lot of symptoms to this you just don't want to have. There's no reason for it. Wear a proper mask, all right? Wear a mask, and that's another thing. I see a lot of people wearing these little flimsy masks that like just cover the face right here, and then it has big openings on the top, bottom, sides. Those are not proper masks. You need something that has a good seal on it, right? Something really nice and tight along the face. Something that's going to prevent a disease from coming in. If you're just going to wear those flimsy masks, just do this. It's basically the same thing. My prediction for the future is that this will eventually blow over. Whenever it starts to die down, I'm personally going to stay in the house for an additional 2 weeks. I'm going to keep my daughter in the house for an additional 2 weeks and make sure that everything is copacetic. Mostly because the incubation time is 14 days, so that's the reason I'm doing that. My prediction is that 3-4 weeks we're going to start seeing things getting back to normal. Things are going to start to die down, hopefully. Of course, this is a prediction, no guarantees. And then sometime in March, late March, we'll all be back to normal. So fingers crossed on that. All right, how to deal with being home all the time. There's 4 things I just want to say, and I've said this in previous videos. Stay busy. Do things to stay busy. It doesn't matter what you got to do. Look at me, making videos. Hey. But stay busy. Find things to keep your mind occupied. You don't want to get cabin fever. Cabin fever is not an actual disease. It just means you're staying in one place for too long. You're staying with the same people day in and day out. And you start to get a little bit, not crazy, well, you could get crazy, but it's just, you start getting depressed, which is a very common side effect to being at home all the time. So you need to stay busy. Keep a routine. Go to sleep at a certain time, wake up at a certain time, take those showers, shave. I'm trying to grow out my beard, so it's okay. Actually, I just trimmed it down today. I hope you guys like it. Check out my video from yesterday. You'll see the difference, I hope. But yeah, keep your routine. Your meals at the same time. If you normally go to work at a certain time, at that moment in time, start doing something that's very productive, work-related or hobby-related. But try to keep that routine so that once this is all over, you've got to get back into a routine. It's going to be easier if you just maintain it. Sleep schedule is very important. Oversleeping is something that a lot of people will do at this time when they're just stuck at home, but it's very bad for your health. There's many diseases you can get from oversleeping. You can also get depression. And depression, I've already mentioned once, and I'll probably mention it 1,000 more times. It's very dangerous. Suicides go up when people are locked down because of depression. Depression causes more fights, more arguments, more anger. You don't want that. So you want to make sure you minimize the risk of depression. And take some time, learn a new skill. There's many websites where you can learn new skills. Here with me, you guys are practicing your English. That's great. Go on websites and learn how to draw, paint, play music, sing, do comedy. I like that one. Learn how to write, learn how to code, use a computer, play Minecraft, whatever it is. But learn a new skill. Wait, now, somebody, quite a few people actually, every day ask me, in what way can I improve my English? See, I told you, it's non-scripted. I have to think about what I'm saying. So what ways can I improve my English? And there's many. There's so many ways. So number one, practice idioms. If you're trying to practice, or if you practice idioms, you're going to improve your understanding of culture, but also ways to improve your sentences and your general conversation. I participated in an app, which I'll actually talk about in a second, and there's actually one person in there that she comes to these groups, live chat groups all the time, and she speaks with almost all idioms, and it's cool. It's cool. But it's really funny because she'll have an entire statement, and she'll throw like 5 or 6 idioms into that statement. Really awesome. The fact that she not only knows them, but uses them regularly, that's really cool. So practice idioms. The next thing is tongue twisters. Now, a lot of people think, and if you've seen some of my videos, you'll know that I'm a big advocate for people speaking with tongue twisters or practicing tongue twisters. And, it's not just for children. A lot of people think they're silly for children. They're not. Public speakers practice with tongue twisters. Politicians, actors and actresses, singers, they all use tongue twisters to practice their pronunciation to help them sound clearer. It helps them with pronunciation and intonations. So it's very important. I would definitely recommend using tongue twisters to help you. All right, the next thing is actually that app I mentioned before. In English, it's called AC. In Chinese, it's Jiao Liu Dian. Jiao Liu Dian. I think I'm saying it right. Anyways, I'm putting the Chinese up there right now for you. I would tell you guys, go ahead and download it. It's a really cool app. It's a free app. I'm on there regularly. There's a lot of people on there, and all it is just a place for people to come and practice their conversational English, meet some new people. And right now, with everything going on and so many of us just locked down in our homes, it is a nice way to get away from just whatever's going on in your home and your life right now. Really cool people on there. I can not tell you enough. And this is not a sponsor. I'm not plugging them because I'm making any money off of this. Nothing. I use it. I like it. A really good friend of mine, he recommended it to me, and I have fun on there. Even though I'm the one that's doing most of the talking and teaching, I have fun. So, all right. Final thought. I told you these videos are short, sort of. Final thought. Don't waste today, because the future you will be very pissed at today's you for wasting time. Back to the whole point of learning a new skill and finding things that occupy your time right now. Don't waste this time. Not many of us get this much time to do something. So practice a skill, learn something new, because the future you is going to be pissed if you waste this time. All right, that's all I have to say today. If you guys like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Share it with your friends and family. Share it in your moments, in your circles, in your groups. And go ahead and leave me a comment, because if you guys tell me you like this type of video, I might make more. All right, until later, much love, and stay foxy.